So, I want to talk a little bit about the strength of weak ties and the somewhat counterintuitive advice that it's often the people that we're least connected with who can offer the best opportunities when it comes to job hunting. This is based largely on the work of Mark Granovetter, whose research looked to really challenge the assumption that we get the most help from our strong ties within our network. Those people within our network who know us the best and we spend the most time around. But in order to understand this, we need to take a little step back and take a look at social networks. Look at how they're built, how they're formed, and what part they play within our job hunting. But it's very important to note that when we talk about social networks, we're not talking about Twitter here, but rather we're talking about a network of social interactions between people and organisations that describe the actions and behaviours in a group. And it's the people that we spend the most time around that form our strong ties. And as these actions are repeated over time, they become stronger and stronger. So think of these as your friends and your family around you. But when it comes to job hunting, it's probably more accurate to think of it as your organisation. And while strong ties within your organisation have their benefits, they can also really narrow your horizons and result in groupthink, as you have a bit of an echo chamber, as all these people are just far too close to you and your world. But what you also have to remember is your organisation sits within a part of a bigger network. Your key partners, your suppliers, and sometimes your clients, even your competitors, each with their own strong ties. The connections between these two separate groups are the weak ties. And I mean, this is where the real opportunities and fresh new ideas come from. But what we've got to be careful of, as the people in these two groups start to interact, the ties strengthen and groupthink can start to creep back in. Think of this, this can be around your industry within your specific geography. For instance, financial services within Scotland, say. And this can limit your job hunting. But let's take, for instance, now imagine you meet up with an old acquaintance you used to work with 5 years ago who you haven't seen, and you start to chat, and he's telling you about his new job in a fast-growing industry that is crying out for your skills, and he starts to offer these introductions into his new network. It's these weak ties that offer the connection into that network of opportunities and ideas that were off your radar. So, if you're looking for support and advice around a problem, you should turn to your strong ties. But if you're looking for a job, then perhaps the best place to start is actually your weak ties, those people that you've maybe not been in touch with for a while.